Sanitizing bottles, super simple. I've got my sanitizing solution here, enough. I can at least try to get some inside the bottle. Yeah, I got a little in there. Just swirl her around, dump her out. And then, because I'm doing this early, I have this fancy thing. Doesn't need to be dried before you put beer in it. It's totally fine to put beer in it while you still have suds, because this stuff's not like an issue. It's totally food safe, and it's not gonna fuck up your beer at all. So I'm gonna do this with all 10 of these, because I only have a gallon. And then when I'm done with that, I'm gonna put them all on here, and then I'm gonna start moving that beer into this bucket, which has already been rinsed with this, because this needs to be sanitized too. Similarly with that, make sure that's sanitized. Your beer's coming through here. Anything that your beer touches need to be sanitized. All right, so I'm measuring out corn sugar, looking for about 41 grams-ish to get the carbonation level we want. Doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, 42. All right, a little bit over-carbonated, but I'm gonna take this, and then I'm gonna add my already boiled water. I'm just gonna put enough into this to put it all into solution. Doesn't have to be a lot, just enough. And mix her all up in there until she's all gone. You don't need to put you don't need to mix with a spoon or anything. Hot water's enough. So, and I've got this. I'm gonna set it aside and let it cool over here. And in the meantime, what I've got is a bucket of sanitizing solution. And then I've got a bucket for what I'm gonna do is take this that I just made, put it in here with the beer from there. After, I'm gonna have all my sanitized bottles ready to go. And I'm gonna fill each bottle up to where you normally would see it in regular beer on the shelf. And then after that, what I'll do is I'll take my capper and we'll get capping. So once I get everything sanitized and everything, we'll move forward. So I'm siphoning my beer out of my boy into the bucket, and then when this is done, I'll put my sugar in here and I'll make sure it's all nice and make sure. This is a pretty rough way to do this. You don't normally do it this way if you want to like reduce oxygenation, but this is how we're gonna do it because it's simple. Okay, I've gotten about as much of this as I can. There's gonna be a little bit left, but what you need to remember when you're doing this is all that yeast and shit on the bottom that needs to fucking stay in your fermenter. You don't want to bring that up. So when you put your tube in, only put it to about, here, let me show you with two hands because that's hard to do with one. Only put it to about like here so that you're not pulling all that shit on the bottom. And then when you get closer to the bottom, tilt it forward and then work on it like that. It's really simple. So now I've got that all set in here. And now I can move this over to where I'm gonna be bottling. I'm gonna be bottling right there. And then this is feeling about room temperature. It's a little bit warmer, but it's not gonna kill anything. So now I can take my sugar water, just put it right in. Give it a little bit of swirl, but nothing too aggressive, so that you're not causing a ton of foam and stuff because you don't want to super oxygenate this. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna start filling bottles from the spout. So at this point, what you should have done, which I forgot to mention earlier, is just put all your bottle caps in here. Well, yeah, all of what you got. So you're probably gonna end up using around 10 or 12. You'll probably fuck up the first two, but that's okay. These need to be sanitized, as well as everything else. So what we're gonna do is take this, we're gonna put her right on top of here like a little hat. And then you take your capper, and your capper has a little magnet on it right there, and you put her right over the top like this so that each side goes around and gives it a kiss. And then you're gonna use two hands to close it, which, let's see if I can, I don't know if I'm able to get a good video of that, but let's see if this works. We use two hands to close it, like, it's gonna be a little bit of an issue, resistance. And you take it, yep, she's sealed, and then you do that with the rest of them. And then you're gonna put them out for about 2 weeks, room temp, and then after that, put it in the fridge for about 2 to 3 weeks. If you're feeling confident, you can take it out in a week and see how she goes. That's about it.